Hi, Cathy. This is going to be your reading with Rosa. And as you can see, I have some sage going on. I've just created a rich, bountiful, and clear sacred space around me, around you, for us to connect to your higher self and spirit guides. So before I get into the channeled messages, I would like to, like always, set a prayer and intention for protection, clarity, and peace of mind, body, and spirit. But before that, would like to do a little bit of healing sound, because the one thing I saw when I was scanning your photo that you sent me is that you have some chi, chi up in this the mental body. It's just some little maybe stiffness, like rigid chi, that we can move, circulate through the sound, because the sound just ultimately kind of just vibrates any kind of stiff thoughts we have, repeating thoughts, kind of loosens it, creates a spacious mind, is what we need, a spacious mind. So that was kind of the only thing your guides wanted to let you know about your energy body. You have mental, emotional, spiritual, sensual, sexual, higher chakras all the way to the lower chakras. So just relax, okay? Because there is a lot of chi up in this mental body right now. A lot of energy you put into your thoughts. So what can help you? And I noticed in your photo you're wearing orange, so that's a very grounding color. So your guides want you to kind of move all of this chi, like you, almost like you have a giant head, with all this chi, mental chi. And some of it's kind of rigid, some of it's like repeating thoughts. They want you to kind of like circulate into your body, okay? Because I feel like your actual body may not be getting enough of, like, it's like all up here's getting all the chi, and the body's maybe not as getting as much. So maybe there's like an off balance, too much here, kind of, a little bit off balance, maybe thinking way too much. For you there is like an overthinking, okay? It's just because there's so much energy way up here. So we just want to ground it, and wearing the color orange because that's the second chakra, as well as just playing in the park, really moving your body, but not exercise like running. It's something that is feminine, like maybe like learn an Indian dance. Like an Indian dance, it's very sacred. It's very divine and feminine, where you can play and move your energy around in a nice, maybe sensual way, because I feel like you don't really connect with your sensual energy, which is also your second chakra. So we need balance. We don't want energy in excess in any chakra. We can have excess in the second chakra. So it's just really like evening out will really help you to feel more balanced. And I know you live in New York, so most people in New York, they have a giant head, and their body's like little energy for their body. So creativity is just really like not there. Uniqueness is not there because it's all like just intellectual processing, like data filing, and that's like on repeat. So there's no really creativity or uniqueness to kind of like, put in some fresh, spontaneous, intelligence kind of thing. So really, the Indian dance really resonates with me because I feel like it's something really different, and you need to move your body in a really different way, because that will support really different thoughts and really break the habits you have when it comes to your thoughts. Because the overthinking, it's like a loop when it comes to your relationships. It's like you want to have a breakthrough, like break out of that cycling of thoughts that you have going on, but it just seems to keep happening, the thoughts. It's because you just so much energy, like I said, big head going on. So moving it into your body through the feminine dance will just even you out, provide you a nice sense of balance in your body. So when you journal, which is very important for you to journal, because you have so many thoughts and you cannot file them all like in your thoughts. You need to file them out or organize them on paper. So automatic writing, very important. You need to just sit down, and this is like a kind of a remedy I want to give you. So sit down for 12 minutes in the morning, like right when you wake up, and literally just sit in your journal, pen and paper, and just write out what you're feeling. And just go deep. Go deep and write. Because that will help you to organize your thoughts. Because right now, your thoughts, you have so much energy in your thoughts, but it's just like you can't file it all. You can't file that massive data. It's not organized. Okay? So it's kind of like a remedy I'm giving you, like a daily kind of remedy that can help you to like really create like an organized thought and like what's going on in your thoughts. Like what's going on? Because you can't do that in your head. You have to like move it into your body. And writing is like you're moving it into your body. It's moving through your body, not just up here. Okay? So just listen, close your eyes, and just relax. So one thing I want to mention is the ringing in the ears. So when it rings into the ears, okay, it's actually ringing out in the brain. So I want you to think of this at the ears, like a coil, like a moving wheel, like moving, like this is going on in your brain right now. And do this. I want you to do this with me while you listen. Do this while you're listening to this. So we're moving the chi now down into your heart space. So do this with me. Do this with me. Long, deep breath. Now we're going to move it into the lower. So just like move it like this. Like you're kind of just like sweeping. So the heart, you're moving energy into your lower half because we're evening out. Again, all this energy needs to be evened out. So do this while you listen. So just like the heart sweeping down, sweeping down, sweeping down, sweeping down. Visualize orange. Visualize red. Just move your hand all the way down, like really down, down, like you have roots on your legs and you're rooting deep into the ground. Visualize. Okay, there we go. That's just a little energetic shift I wanted to do for your body to kind of even out the chi that was all up in the head. So now we got it nicely circulating throughout the entire body. And listen to that several times and do the movements like I said as well to really help you as well. So there's one other tool that the guides want to give you that's also for your brain. So these things may seem weird, but it will help you. Okay, we need more spontaneous going on. That opens up channels to receiving like creativity, higher intelligence, genius, ideas, just spontaneous open spaces. So this is for the brain. So it's really for the point right here okay? Like, you'll feel it. Almost like a tingling or opening or like beaming of energy. And it is yeah 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 yeah. Oh no, it goes yeah 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 yeah. So it's also for the chest. So what we're doing is like we're opening up the jaw as well, because and the throat, so like the tongue, this whole area. And I feel like that's very important for you, because I feel like there's this like tightness around your jaw area, that also creates a tightness in this area, okay, the top of the head. So like a lot of energy is just here, but it's really stiff. So yeah 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 yeah. Yeah 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 yeah. Yeah 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 yeah. So you're doing is opening and you're just kind of like pulling down and you're lengthening. You're just lengthening this whole area. Okay. So now I'm just gonna get into the channeled messages because the divine definitely wants to help you at this time. So Ang Namo Gurudev Namo, Ang Namo Gurudev Namo, Ang Namo Gurudev Namo. Ang Namo Gurudev Namo, Ang Namo Gurudev Namo, Ang Namo Gurudev Namo. Ang Namo Gurudev Namo, Ang Namo Gurudev Namo, Ang Namo Gurudev Namo. Spirit guides and ascended masters, beings of the highest vibration of love and light, surround me at this time. My intention is for all messages to be full of light and love. May all of these messages give Cathy mind, body, and spirit peace, clarity, and may these messages help her to heal her life, to resolve, to uplift herself, and to live the life of her dreams of joy and happiness and victory, victory, victory. Excel, excel, excel. Okay. Victory, victory, victory. Excel, excel, excel. That seems to be your mantra. I feel like that is very much your motivation right now. You're going victory, victory, victory. Excel, excel, excel. So you can even put this mantra into a meditation where you close your eyes and just say victory, 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 excel, 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 while you visualize a bright sun, like you're inside of sun. That will be very important for you, can help you, okay, to really get into that victory vibration of self-esteem, of energy, vital energy is victory, okay. So let's get into the messages when it comes to your love life. So there is something that you have not resolved when it comes to the Chad individual. And I'm going to be looking at my phone again to just, review your questions. So with Chad and Jared, I feel... Okay, we want to go into like the journaling. I feel like that's very important because you just so many thoughts and just can't like really process it all. Okay, to really come up with like a what's going on, like a concise, this is what's going on and this is what I need to do. Just shut this window. So journaling will help you to take all of that massive stuff and like really concise it down into this is what's going on and this is what I need to do. So we're gonna be open, okay? So the information I may give you it will require you to be open. So like open up your mind about these partners. Because when I connect with Chad and when I connect with Jared, they are, very vastly different energetically wise, but at the same time, there's a core to these individuals that are similar. Okay. Um, and I feel, again, there's a message when I look at your photo. These characters, Chad and Jared, they represent an aspect of yourself that you have not integrated. So there's like maybe maybe you feel like you're fragment. And Chad and Jared, like they provide this aspect that you feel like creates like almost like a more cohesive image in your life or cohesive kind of in your body. I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing, but there's something about cohesion that you want to have with yourself. And with Chad and Jared, you felt like with them, they brought you some kind of cohesion with yourself. Like they represent an aspect of you that maybe you're disjointed from, that you haven't really in within yourself opened, and they kind of opened that within you and brought some cohesion with that aspect of yourself. Um, and it could be like your childhood. So we got to go deep with these relationships because I feel like there's something that is not fulfilled within these relationships with Chad and even with Jared. I feel like there's a similarity going on, and it automatically just ultimately has to do with yourself. There's a cohesion that you want to have with aspects of yourself that maybe you feel disjointed from, but they provide you like that peace, if that makes sense. So when it comes to the relationships, a lot of times they are very much mirroring our relationship with our father. And I don't know if you've, done, research on relationships and come up with that on your own, or if this is just new to you. Um, but I do feel there is a connection when it comes to your relationship with your father, that it may not be apparent like you could see it like, oh, side by side this is really similar, but the root of it will be very similar, because the relationship you have with your father, that root is pretty much the root that a lot of times your relationships follow that route with your romantic partners. So with Chad, you think about him a lot. It's like you haven't allowed yourself to come to terms with that. That's the word I get, come to terms with that relationship with Chad. The word resolution seems important too. But it's more so towards yourself. I feel like there's many things that you want to communicate, but something about communication with Chad maybe doesn't feel like it really is fulfilling you. That's the word that keeps coming up, fulfilling you. Like there's this love, but it's also the communication. There's something about communication that doesn't really feel like it's really present or really available or really there. So it all, and then there is this feeling that you have within yourself about, kind of maybe possibly settling. And I feel like your mother, or you could say, even if it's not your biological, just a woman in your life as a young girl, I feel like maybe she settled as well. Because there's something about your home, and you say Ohio, that well, the family situation, it feels like a lot of just, settling. Possibly the relationship your mother and father had is kind of like the typical, like it's just not really much there, not really fulfilled, kind of, so that kind of thing. So sometimes we can like reenact that on like a subconscious level, because the first relationship that really imprints is the father and daughter, or our mother and daughter relationship that we witness at a very, very young age. So that can leave an imprint on your self-worth and what you think you're capable of having. And you may say you want, a really wonderful person, but if your subconscious has that imprint, okay, that, that image of you, your mother and father, you and your father growing up, it really, it puts like a cap or limitation. So you may say it, but your subconscious doesn't believe it. Therefore, you'll just kind of attract what your subconscious thinks is for you, if that makes sense. So that's why we want to go a little deeper than just Chad and Jared, because I feel for you this is deeper than that. I feel like there's some sort of unfulfillment going on, even with Chad. And that's why it's kind of unresolved, because you want something. You want something from Chad, like a response or communication. And you want even that from Jared as well. You want something, but it just doesn't feel right, it's not there. It's because this is your almost like your relationship test. It's showing you what you think that you should have, but also opening you up to that feeling of I would like to expand beyond this limitation, this feeling of, okay, and that takes a process of commitment and discipline. So I'm going to show you firstly, the card that I kind of, when I was shuffling the deck, I got this card that came up. And it is, let me see, it is Deeper Look. That's the name of this card. So that's why we're getting a deeper look. So when I was kind of meditating on your relationships, it's got a deeper look. So there's something deeper going on than just these relationships. You know that there's something better for you too. Something that it's just you don't believe it. That's the thing, on a subconscious level. Kind of a settling, and also support. You want support very, very much. And this provides you that support. So let me look at the relationship you have. I'm going to just pull one card with the relationship you have with Chad that can give you some kind of clarity. But I do feel it's just to let go of, it's just love, really, ultimately. Because this desire possibly to receive a response or communication from him, or something. It feels like you're wanting something from him. It'll just keep you like still in it with him, even if you're in just separate locations. It's just to allow him to just do what he's doing, allow you to do what you're doing, and not to kind of want something, want to know something, because that's what's going on in your thoughts. You want to know something. So I'm going to pull one card about your connection with Chad. So the card that we have is the Desert Prince, Survival False Promises. Survival False Promises. So I'm going to read a little bit from the deck, because this is a very interesting card. Your relationship with Chad. It feels more of a just letting go that is happening. So when you stumble upon the Desert Prince, you receive a gift. The plant life that exists in the desert environment is well defended, tough and succulent, even though it gets a little or no water. In spite of external conditions, extraordinary life can form and thrive. Be tough, have courage, and dare to dream no matter what the circumstances. It may seem to be a hard time, but not only will you survive, you will thrive. In spite of conditions, you'll succeed. Dry spells are also true tests of faith and courage. Expect nothing less than what is in your most precious dreams and watch miracles manifest. So the key sentence is dry spells are also true tests of faith and courage. So the desert, when I think of your relationship with Chad, it feels like it's dried up, but it's kind of like you mix the emotions up, the past. So you're like pulling emotions from the past and bringing it into the present as like there's something there. So it's saying with Chad receiving, it just feels communication. Something about communication just doesn't feel like it's really fulfilling. Okay. So again, dry spells are also true tests of faith and courage. So tests seems to be the word of your faith and courage and your devotion to your dreams, because you have already this fearlessness from you leaving Ohio, like by yourself, to go to New York, that you're testing your capability. You're opening possibilities for yourself, higher possibilities that very few people do. Okay. But I feel like with relationships, you need to do the same. So there's this very, like, this tough, almost fierceness when it comes to, like, your professional side, but it needs to be when it comes to your relationships. Okay. Because I feel like there has been, like, kind of dry spells. I feel like maybe your father was kind of like that too, or it could be a grandfather, just a man that was a caretaker in your life around you when you were a young person, who's kind of like imprinted on you and what you think men are and your relationship to men will be when you are an adult. So I feel like there maybe was some dry spells going up, like, dry men just kind of, just going through, just emotions and, not really, kind of stuff going on. Expect nothing less than what is your most precious dreams and watch miracles manifest. So it is ultimately commitment. Because I feel like these relationships, these energies, it just takes up the space. It takes up the space of thoughts. It takes the space in your heart. It takes up space in just your energy field. So when you're trying to magnetize what you truly want, it's hard because the space is not available to receive, if you know what I'm saying. So I feel like that is an important message for you, because I feel like there's always being in this relationship. Okay, I know you said you took a year off, but even then I feel like you were looking for a relationship. So it is to dive deep, contemplate with yourself, even if you need time to be alone, to really figure out the partner, the energy, fulfillment. What is that? What gives you energy? Partner that gives you energy, that expands you. That's what you need to think of. Does this partner expand me? Okay. Expand, supports. Very, very, very important. Aligns with my direction for an expanded life of self-esteem and victory. So this is Chad. Now we're going to look at the Jared energy. The Jareds that you said you were with or are with for 2 years. Because I feel like you already answered your own question when you feeling like something's off about Jared is kind of answering your own question. But you don't necessarily have support or friends around you that are actually wanting to manifest their expander partner. I feel like a majority of people around you maybe are just kind of, this will do. Okay, so it's very hard to kind of, manifest that expander partner when the people around you, your examples, or what your subconscious kind of, it determines its ability to manifest the expanded partner based on like what it sees around. And if it just doesn't see that, it kind of thinks, well, that's not going to happen. So your relationship with Chad. So we have the trust, strategizing, chess queen. So organizing. This is like a chess. It's like when you play chess, you review. You're studying. It's not only, chess is not only is about winning, it's also studying yourself. Studying your role, studying kind of your patterns in chess. Because a lot of times we get into patterns in chess. You know, we all players have patterns. So the chess queen has all the tools you need to aid you in your quest for life of purpose, peace, and prosperity. When she arrives as your ally, you've been given the task of asking spirit for a vision of your life. So you want a vision of your life. Ask also to know the right actions to ensure your part in this process of unfolding. Then, with a sense of trust, allow the strategy to be given unto you by the divine. Are your own goals and desires in alignment with the divine plan for your life? Is this person in alignment with your divine plan or your divine goals for this life that you know inside? The great feeling, when you feel it, the great feeling, is that person in alignment with that great feeling? Or does they kind of distract or like bring you down from that feeling? Even if they're not negative, it's just you feel kind of, it doesn't make you feel as focused. This is a reminder that there is your plan and then there's the divine plan. So your plan, which a lot of times is based on our kind of, we saw our parents did, and we kind of created a caliber based on like what our parents or what society, which can be very low caliber because parents, society kind of has low caliber for themselves. So your plan and the divine plan, which is the great feeling and trusting, committing, devoting to surrounding yourselves with people who expand upon that great feeling, which may be few, which may be none, But that's your challenge as a soul. You come here to challenge your ability to move beyond what you think or what this world presents as the possibility. Okay. The chess queen says that you will win this game as long as you let spirit choose your moves. Let spirit in this your feelings. So there's something going on with Jared about letting spirit choose your feelings, not you. Follow your bliss and inspired messages delivered by your soul. Follow your bliss and inspire. So it's really taking a deep look. Does this inspire? Do you feel bliss? Do you feel fulfillment? Does it align with your great feeling? Does it expand you? These are all great questions. You cannot lose when you enter the realm of the chess queen, and she appears as your ally. So it's not losing. It's not this ends or this begins. It is simply, I am expanding my capability, challenging the society inside of me that just goes for this caliber. I'm challenging myself to do what feels right for me. Okay, but we have denial sometimes. Denial. And that can keep us in cycles with people, but ultimately not really feeling like we are growing. And that's what you feel. You're not necessarily growing deep inside. It's just you don't maybe say it to yourself. Okay, so now I'm just going to get into the energy of what describes your highest life partner. Because a lot of times we have to go through these test relationships in order to clear the root of it, which is our imprints that our mom and father relationship had on us and our relationship with our father had on us, that ultimately set the caliber for what we're worthy of in a mate. Okay, what we have to put up with. Because everybody is putting up with something when it comes to relationship. I'm putting up with that. Okay, so it's just ultimately the great feeling, the love. Is it flowing? Is it playful? And you may not know what that is like, because the subconscious, if it's never met anybody where it really flowed or it was playful, in a like a mutual kind of way, um, it can be hard for the subconscious to um, attract that. So I'm going to try, what is your highest life partner, his energy? I feel like, kind of got this earlier about your highest life partner. I do feel like he is in New York, and I do feel like he works almost like in a spacious room, almost like a loft or something. And there's a lot of windows. I'm like in the room right now, and there's people at computers. It seems very like techie. Could be web design. I feel like he may do something that involves web design, because I see people at computers, like larger computers, like those really advanced new age ones, and there's just moving stuff around. Could be making logos. It feels like web design. Like he has a degree in graphic design. Maybe that's what he went to college for. But he's very much aligned with what you are doing. I don't know if you're doing something similar, but it could be very much so. So what describes your highest life partner? And I also feel like he goes to the park. There's something he summer in like sports. He's definitely a physical. Like he likes to be physical. Like maybe what do you call, like baseball. Just see him out like outside playing around. Like he does physical things. But he's definitely an intellectual like you. But he is also creative, and he's in like a community-based creativity. So where people come together and they like sit and have meetings about the creative project and like ideas. He's very much ideas man. It's sharing of ideas. But again, it's like it's hard to attract this with if your space is like already there's stuff in your space. It's kind of like we keep people, the piggyback of relationships is like we kind of are in a relationship until the other one comes and then we leave, but it never works like that. It rarely, for people it does work, but it's just the same person. It's new, so it's just more exciting. Okay, it's just the same kind of energy, just different person, and it's just exciting because it's fresh. So I feel like it's important for you to recognize that if you feel like you're waiting, because I feel like you're kind of waiting for something, it will not happen if you are in something already, because there's a lesson. There's a lesson that you must learn. It's like school. You cannot go into the 6th grade unless you complete the 5th grade. So you're waiting for the 6th grade, but you're not focused on what is the lesson in the 5th grade. So it'll just keep you, it'll keep you unavailable to the 6th grade until you sit with yourself. And I feel like it is the journaling, like I said, the 12 minutes every morning. To be honest, it's like be real. Be real, but sometimes it feels like attachments, attachments. That can be very hard to break, almost ache and pain for that. But sometimes we must if we are to grow, not delay our growth anymore. And a lot of people do because of fear, because they look around. You look around and you see your girlfriends and you see them with these guys and, they look happy, but the energy doesn't really feel like they're really expanding each other's minds or just kind of we're together because we're both available. It really just kind of puts like a thing on you like, okay, well, that's how it is. But the inside, if you really amplify the inside knowing, you're not going to look outside anymore for validation or guidance on what the relationship is and how it is going to run. Okay. Because that can keep you in something that just for the show of it, if that makes sense. So I pulled the cards about your highest life partner. We have the Magician, the 6 of Wands, the Lovers. We have the 3 of Wands. We have the Wheel of Change. And we have the Ace of Swords. So the Magician. So this is you, what I said, victory, 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 excel, excel, excel. That is the energy that you're in right now. Um, they're also saying distractions. So it's really your time right now, your power. You could see she's brewing something to really make that quantum leap within yourself. And you're going to experience like this period of time when it's just nothingness. You're like, oh gosh, why did I do that? But it's very important that you experience that nothingness, because that's the period where you're just so open. And we're not used to being open. We're always full with things to do, people to talk to. But when we're that open, that is the point when we're most receptive. So then we have the Six of Wands. So this is really, you could see she's moving towards what she really wants to experience, which is she wants to be on top of that rock, for some reason. So that's with you. You have this feeling, and it feels out of reach, like that frog or something. It feels out of reach. But it's saying to don't just stay where you are, follow the feeling. Trust it. That can be hard intuition because of our what we don't a lot of us, we have the conscious, I would want something good, but the subconscious, that's not going to happen, or it doesn't believe it. And then the Lovers. So that's what I feel like the most important message is for you to really organize it in a journal and really put it in that your discipline, and it's going to be the commitment. It's going to be the thing that changes your subconscious, what you're capable of receiving, or what your ultimate relationship is, which doesn't really feel fulfilling for you right now because it's not in necessarily alignment with that true great feeling, which is most of us, but we deny. We're in denial sometimes. And then the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is relaxation. Okay, it's allowing yourself to receive again. As you can see, this woman, she's just very comfortable, very cozy, very confident with herself. These are things the guides want you to connect with. And the energy of your life partner, this is really ultimately the space for you to be in when you attract him. Because it's one thing to talk about who he is and his job and etc. But if the lesson is like, it's exciting to talk about sixth grade, but if you're not really focused on the fifth grade and what you need to do right now, the lessons you need to learn right now, it's just, you're just going to be doing the fifth grade again because you didn't learn the lesson, and you'll just repeat the same thing. So that's why I feel like you're staying in this Chad and Jared energy mentally, because you want to learn the lesson. So then we have the Wheel. So I feel like the summer and spring, or the spring and summer, is really bringing this, especially 2018, it's an 11 year, is really bringing this, advancements is the word that comes up. Advancements. When it comes to your relationships. And then we have the Ace of Swords. So this has to do, I feel like this is the summer energy, clarity, and self-esteem combined. Is self-esteem ultimately activated is clarity. Gives you the energy to cut, clear, and to go and move where you feel is for you. Okay, so just seeing if there's any more messages, because I feel like when it comes to Chad, I know you have a lot like, what is he thinking about me, and I feel like that's just not relevant for you to know like what he's thinking and what he's feeling about you, because that is not, it's just opening a door to you possibly going back to him. Okay, because I feel like there's something about Jared that is just so there's like going back to Jack because you're thinking of him and thinking of them both, and that's because of the lesson. And I feel like it does have to do with the relationship, like kind of like similar to your father, and also just your self-esteem and committing to that. And that the commitment to your self-esteem, the commitment to making those really tough decisions will ultimately change, elevate, advance your overall attraction, what you're attracting. It will evolve it. So you'll start to attract a whole different kind of crowd of people, but you can't overlap crowds of people. You know, can't overlap the fifth grade and sixth grade teachings. It's kind of like, got to do it first, and then that will open up. So I'm just going to do an overall, just like a card to just describe like what you're experiencing right now. Okay, to kind of just, you know, give you some messages, what you are experiencing right now. So we have one card, shape-shifting. You know, I keep mentioning about the subconscious. Well, that's what's going on. It's shape-shifting. It's decompartmentalizing. You know, it's shape-shifting. The image of your partner, like the cloud, is shifting into something else. And that's why you're feeling this, what's going on? And how can you, I'm going to ask now, just how can you heal your relationships with Jared and Chad and follow through on your divine knowing, like 100% courage to follow your feelings. Because that's ultimately what I'm feeling right now. So the card we have is New Beginning. So vastness, spaciousness, openness. Open yourself up. New beginnings. Healing. It's like the death. I feel like you've experienced like a death ending with Chad and even Jared sometimes, like a cycle. It's saying just allow the new beginnings to be. Just allow yourself to be in that period when, you know, you end a job and you're waiting for the new job, where it's just like, oh my God, I'm so open to receive. I have like nothing going on. Like, that's the most receptive place you can be in. I'm just going to do like one more card. What is the state you need to be in to attract your highest life partner? The state you need to be in to attract your highest life partner. Perspective. Milky Way. Milky Way. Big, big perspective. Big, bold perspective. Because those words, there's something about, like, the words I keep using to describe the state you need to be in is very much like bold, courageous, discipline. It's very much like lower chakra, your body. Okay, the mind can discover, but ultimately it's the body that moves into place what you want. The lower chakras moves into place what you want. The mind just has the realization, and the body moves and shakes the world to be that. So I'm just going to read a little bit from the card. Find the card. The Milky Way cards. Perspective. You've lost your perspective, so it's time to step back, breathe, and allow yourself to detach in order to gather information from your senses and regain your perspective about the situation. Detachment does not mean that you no longer care. It simply indicates that you are looking at things from a different point of view. It is an outlook that is not clouded by emotions, judgment, or attachment to people, to outcome, but instead maintains a non-reactive awareness of these things. The witness, that internal aspect of yourself that simply observes everything in your life, offers his or her eye here. So I feel like it is looking from a detached point of view, not in an emotionally, like, I feel like there's a lot of emotions with Chad, a lot of emotions, particularly with Chad, and there's some with Jared. And it really kind of stirs things up. Like, like, I have a connection. I created a bond. But is that bond really fulfilling you? Supporting. Think of the word expander, support, alignment, fulfillment. Feel it in your heart. Be honest about these words. Really be honest with yourself. Not with your friends, with yourself. And you will have to have the courage and discipline to, when you feel the inside, to not just, oh, yeah, that's probably not going to happen. So, but to really just feel it, trust it, put it in your body, dance your body, do some really cool body, feminine dances, and just allow your life, your body, to create this space for you to amplify that discovery you had on the mind, live it in the body, and really validate it through your decisions, your actions, that you're wanting something that's in alignment with that highest caliber, and commit. Okay, so it's not worked, I'm not going to go for that anymore. It's like candy, I'm not going to go for that anymore. I'm just going to kind of patiently wait. And that's what we all need to learn, to patiently wait, amplify as we patiently wait. That is the receptive place you need to be in. So yes, namaste.